Yes.
Bogdanov, he did it.
He bought.
He went all in.
Dump it. No! No!
You heard it here first. Bitcoin is going to zero. When it comes out, zero.
Just hodl, bro.
Welcome to the TGH Newscast. What a week we've had in crypto. Possibly the most bullish week we've seen since last week. We're going to do our best to give you a quick roundup on what's been happening in crypto over the last week. What's happening, guys?
Not a lot. You kept your face straight. It's been a hell of a week. I mean, and the only reason I'm thinking it's, related to last week, I mean, the ETH2, or excuse me, the roll up, news was pretty huge. And so, this is only a very, very close second to that, but a hell of a back-to-back 2 weeks, honestly. Huge.
I said, didn't I? It's been a hell of a bullish week since, and literally it was really bullish last week, wasn't it? There was tons of news last week. So what have we got this week then, Keegan? You've compiled a bit of a list for us, haven't you, on all the latest news? Yeah.
So we're going to start off hot with Do Kwon from Luna, who claims he was going to purchase $2 billion worth of Bitcoin to back UST. So far, we've seen quite a few inflows of $125 million onto exchanges directly from Terra's accounts. And so at this point, the Terra Foundation has accumulated, I think, $1.3 billion worth of Bitcoin. Wow. 1.1 as of yesterday. And then this morning, he bought another $125 million worth. And so in the past week, he kind of went nuts. And that's what a lot of, I think, FOMO came from, but also just general buying pressure, because that's a huge amount of money. Regardless if some of it's on OTC, a lot of it has been bought on exchanges.
Yeah.
So it was done on OTC, sorry.
For sure. Yeah. But his goal is also to accumulate around 10 billion, I think, in total.
Is it?
Yeah.
You would have to assume it's going to be OTC, a little bit of it. I mean, you could market buy all of it, but I mean, there's some speculation. Why would you do that? Why would you just market buy it if you didn't OTC?
Let me ask this question quickly, regarding OTCs, how much are they buying OTCs and where are they buying OTCs from? Just for people to understand. OTCs.
Basically, OTCs are just with other big players. You'd sell a large amount of your Bitcoin to Do Kwon, for example, for a bunch of UST. But in this case, a large chunk of it is just being bought straight on exchanges. I just wouldn't be surprised to see him do OTC also, because it's cheaper.
Yeah. I'm just surprised to see people selling this cheap, and if not cheaper. Obviously, OTC stands for over the counter for anyone who doesn't know that. So that's really interesting. What else have we got? Sorry.
Yeah. So if we move to the next point, we actually can, I will share my screen here. So we're going to do share screen. So what we're looking at now is we're looking at exchange values. So we can see the amount of Bitcoin left on exchanges relative to the price. As you can see, back in 2020, we had a massive outflow. And then obviously this price run up. This drawdown in price was, correlated with more Bitcoin on exchanges. And then recently, as you can see, we've had a huge outflow again to newer lows that we haven't seen since 2018, I think. Back here. Which was, middle of the end of the 2018 bear market. So we're at the lowest amounts in a long time. And then same with ETH. We are here since basically the mid of 2020. We've slowly been making newer, lower lows consistently with the amount of ETH on exchanges. And a lot of that is due to ETH being staked for the merge, because that's coming here soon, very soon. And that's no longer a joke. So, here, let's see. We'll go ahead and stop the share.
That's really interesting. Really interesting. I didn't realize we were so. It was comparable to 2018.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Yeah, and you can go and find all these yourself too if you're curious. You can just go to CryptoQuant. They have really great data. You can see the amount of Bitcoin and ETH and all the other tokens and coins on exchanges, so that you can track up or down.
Love it. Thanks for sharing that. Thanks for sharing that information.
Yeah. So as we go forward, let's go into the industry. Huge industry news this week. Yellen has had positive comments on crypto, which is great. Saying
For the
that
first time, I think.
regulated.
She got a headache. Is she all right?
Yeah, she did. She did definitely flip her sentiment pretty quick. Went from being this is a scam to oh no, this can be good for growth.
Oh, that's actually technology, not just a
yeah. It's actually technology. Weird. Oh, it's
Loads of people done that, didn't like Jordan Belfort done the same thing, didn't he? He hated crypto.
Oh, he's bullish now.
He switched bullish at some stage. Whether he's still bullish, I don't know. He changes like the wind, like most of the bears. Most of the bears just switch bullish. Yeah, probably still probably high.
Flipping with the emotions.
Love it.
So no, in that realm, on a side note though, Biden has proposed an e-cash proposal for the USA, which is essentially a proposal for a CBDC. Not really ideal, but I don't know. We'll see where that goes. Hoping it doesn't gain a huge amount of traction, or at least people give a fight to it. So
I feel like regulation is speeding up, and it's coming a lot quicker than any of us anticipated, and possibly due to the war in Ukraine and possibly COVID, it's speeding up even faster.
Just compounding events, just over and over, stuff just compounds on itself and faster and faster.
There's an article from the UK as well looking to do their CBDCs September, October, I think it was. I'm sure that's when they were looking to go down that road as well. So it looks like there's a few countries planning on doing things like that now.
Well, and China has theirs as well, and that's like very well known. So
what will happen to cash? Will cash stay, or
cash will be gone in a couple of years, especially with CBDCs coming.
We said, didn't we, last year that cash will be gone in 10 years,
probably
minimum.
much faster.
Much sooner now.
Yeah, and UK kind of seems like the place. I was fucking shocked in London. You can't buy anything with fucking cash.
Yeah. Cash is basically
you need a card. No way to get around without a card.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, after and just taking Russia out of the money system proves that you can have your money just taken away if it's backed by US dollars, which is odd. That's a new risk that people hadn't even had to
lost in the trust in fiat. Fiat was already kind of fucked, and people started to see like how bad it is. But now with this new event arising, it's even worse. I think people are just completely losing trust in fiat.
Has definitely changed sentiment for a lot of people, and that includes institutions, which is where we get our next news from Ray Dalio. Bridgewater is moving into crypto, which is huge. Ray Dalio is a very long, well-known investor in the traditional finance space, I guess, who previously was not a fan of crypto, and has very recently flipped, saying that I am going to. So that's kind of huge. Alongside that, we also have Goldman Sachs changing their front landing page to a crypto page, talking about the digitization.
Wow. Huge.
That's big. Huge.
Yeah.
Do you think the regulation of the industry, is attracting more institutional investors? The more regulation, the safer they feel.
It is sort of needed. They were not able to do that kind of stuff before regulations kicked in. So they kind of need regulations to operate in the space.
Yep, they need the regulations to hop in, and then also B, I think they are slowly becoming more and more attracted to ETH as staking becomes an option. Yeah. It is the biggest, I think it was the highest percent among a poll of like Goldman Sachs investors of like, what do we want more of? It was ETH.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So on to the next big money moving in, which I'm not sure how this is going to play out, but BlackRock, who owns $10 trillion under management, is considering offering crypto services to its investors, which is huge. But there's the question of, does it bring more centralization with how much money they have? Yeah. They have had a history of, for example, buying up houses, housing,
also major shares in companies, and trying to tell these companies where to move, what to do, that kind of stuff. But as you mentioned with Ethereum and Goldman Sachs, I think BlackRock, I've read a couple of articles that they were pushing companies to get more green, like renewable energies, that kind of stuff. So now with Ethereum moving to proof of stake, I think they could take a major position in Ethereum, which would be great for my backs, obviously, and I would be very happy with that. Even if it gets more centralized, I'm happy with my backs pumping either way.
True. Yeah. And I think still that the community is still fighting for the decentralization. So even if they do hop in, they are still working in a decentralized system.
But you can definitely feel the centralization coming, can't you? With regulation, there's definitely more centralized aspects to it. I read something today about they were looking at forcing people to use sexes. Sounds wrong the way I just said that.
Centralized exchanges, yeah. Yeah, it sounds weird when
sounds strange when you say it like that. As a way to monetize, what people are withdrawing. But maybe that's just off ramp. Do you know what I'm saying? When you're cashing out, maybe. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
True. Okay, so on to the next thing, kind of switching topics. There is a Google Chrome update for everybody, emergency update. If you've not done so, please be sure to go do so. Little 3 dots at the top right of your Chrome. Go to help, then about Google Chrome. Update it to version 99.0.4844.84. You'll be good, but just please do so if you haven't. It was a big Google security update, and it was very unusual, I guess you could say, that they said please do this now, and they won't release what the code is because attacks had happened already. So if you haven't done this, please do so. So on to happier news. GameStop's NFT marketplace has officially gone live on Loopring. Another huge integration on L2s, one of my favorite ecosystems, the L2 ecosystems. And so seeing an NFT marketplace from someone as large as GameStop launching there, pretty cool. Would love to see more L2 adoption as we move forward, because obviously the fees saved are massive.
Definitely.
So moving into governments, lots of government news again this week also. The Malaysian ministry has officially proposed to make crypto legal tender. So that would be another country checked off of our list of where is Bitcoin legal?
Quite a big one again. They are not as small as El Salvador. They are quite big as a country.
It's very interesting. It should be good. And then also in related, the Israeli bank Leumi, we'll see if I pronounce that right, are to offer cryptocurrency services. They are one of the largest banks in Israel, which is huge. Just another domino of another country's bank being like, people want this, and so we're just going to offer it.
Slow and steady, isn't it? It's just a slow and steady process. This adoption, not in a rush. Are we? Just keep, as you said, another domino down. Just keep cracking on.
Time's on our side here. Just every domino is a win. And so speaking of that, also other government news, the U.S. state of Florida is going to accept Bitcoin and crypto as tax payments, which is huge. Same with the city of Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. They are also going to be accepting crypto as tax payments. And so we're seeing a lot of adoption in a lot of different sectors that is really bullish overall, regardless of what the price does today or tomorrow. Fundamentally, we're gaining momentum here.
Fundamentally, it's going in the right direction. That's what people can take from this, can't they, Keegan? It's going in the right direction. If all this news now was bearish and stuff that we didn't want to see, we'd be sort of scratching our heads a bit, wouldn't we, saying, well, it doesn't look good, this, but it's all literally bullish. I did. Did we mention last week that Thailand, or has this happened since last week? On a bit on the bearish side, Thailand, I think, have banned Bitcoin as a legal tender.
Did they really? Yeah. I didn't hear that.
I think they banned crypto payments.
Yeah, they did. Sorry.
It's still sort of legal, but you can't pay with crypto.
That's it. Yeah.
I think they're also kind of like India with back and forth, like. It's always
strange.
Shit.
I was surprised to see that.
India's the biggest flip-flopper in existence besides China. So.
I feel sorry for all the Indians with all the tax regulations that they're bringing out now. There's some crazy.
Yeah, the 30% tax. They just released that too.
It's ridiculous, and you also can't offset losses. You can't offset losses. Can you believe that?
No, dumbest thing I've read ever.
Hope our own governments don't start using that as well. Imagine that, you can't offset losses.
I was gonna say that kind of takes the whole point away of like the whole system we use so far. Profits and losses. So you can only record profits. Okay, well this is dumb.
So crypto is legal in India, but it's hard to make money.
Basically, yeah.
So okay, so let's move into the TGH picks news for the week. We're going to start off big with Gamify. They are releasing their new NFT marketplace. Just went live, and then they also are releasing fixed and variable staking pools, also known as a Gamify Earn. They've actually just opened up, I think, this morning, and there'll be 90-day lockups for the first one with a 7% APY. Over that 90 days, and then they'll be adding more as time goes on, but it's a good way to earn more Gaffy as you wait. Staking is always nice. In second, we have Ferrum officially partnering with Crypto.com, which is massive. If you don't know who Crypto.com is,
Huge.
search it. You'll know. Like top 20 in the world. So absolutely massive partnership for them. And they will be listed on crypto.com, which is, another great boost for Ferrum long term.
Yeah, absolutely huge. I can't even believe that. You told me earlier. I was like, what? I didn't even know. I didn't even see the news.
I saw last night and I was like, oh, you're kidding me. Crypto.com, like, no
That's
shit.
Huge. That's huge. Sorry, I want to remind people that Ferrum was one of our earlier picks from 2019, and we've stood strong.
The earliest, I think.
One of the earliest, yeah. It's been one of the we've stuck by Ferrum from day one, and they got nothing but good things to say about TGH too. Went on their podcast the other week, and they were just they love TGH, they love us, they love our community, and we love them as well, and we've stuck by them, and it just shows you. If you do believe in a project and the team are working, it's not all scams, are they? There's a lot of good projects. I think people get lost sometimes, and it's just a shit coin. They're all shit coins. They're not, are they? There's some good projects.
But find the ones that are building strong, fundamental, good protocols.
Exactly.
And you will be rewarded in the long term.
Exactly.
So moving on, we have the Hustle land sale here in like 3 days. It'll be on the 31st of March, this Thursday, 2,500 per plot, unless you added Hustle and Peer liquidity last month for a few weeks. And then you can get a discount to 1,500 tokens, and then you also are whitelisted. So just remember that it's also on the Binance Smart Chain. So don't have your Hustle on ETH if you want to buy land.
Great.
Next we have Wild World has finished their last giveaways for the Phoenix. They're getting they've been doing weekly giveaways, and I mean their art is just awesome as always, constantly releasing new stuff. So just we maintain our love of the Wilder World.
How active is Wilder World? They just don't stop, do they? It's just constant.
Literally, their Twitter is a nonstop feed of new stuff that they're designing, or the neighborhood systems, or the actual buildings that they've rendered in the cities, and it's just beautiful. It's really cool. Yeah. In another similar light of really good gameplay footage, we have the Unfettered, consistently releasing new concept art every week, and as well as new videos, new trailers, very Dark Souls vibe, or an Elden Ring vibe, for anyone that's binging that right now.
Do you remember Soul Reaver, Legacy of Kain? It reminds me of that a little bit. Maybe it's before your time.
Yeah, I've definitely seen. I haven't played it much, but I've seen it played. Yeah, no, it's a great vibe. Honestly, I love the art.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah,
and so really excited for that to get released. Lastly, we also have Spin Top is releasing their Spin Starter soon, which is huge. You'll need 1K spin. So at the moment, that's like $111. So if you want an allocation to one of the Spin Top IDOs, which they will announce very soon, well, I would say it's a pretty good entry right now, because most IDOs do not let you enter for that low. So pretty great entry in my opinion. And that pretty much wraps up the TGH news for the week. And lastly, we have our meme of the week, which I found personally hilarious. So we're just gonna go to this right now, and then I'll share my screen, because this is some top tier quality. This is Dokwan with a common the shooting the man here sitting in the chair of shooting the bears. I literally announced I was going to do this. The bears are all surprised. Why did we go up? Well, I have a good reason.
I was saying to Indiana yesterday that they're always speculating on the worst case scenarios, aren't they?
Yeah.
I've got nothing against people for having an opinion, but at least back it and base it and find some facts and bring those to the table. Don't just be bearish for the sake of being bearish or negative for the sake of being negative. At least back it up. Bullish people get the bears are actually bashing the bullish people for being bullish, but they're backing it up. They're backing up all of their fundamental reasons and sentiment. So,
which, as you can see from this week, pretty
exactly.
bullish. There's a lot of shit to back up. This has been a bullish week, and that we may have found a pretty long-term bottom.
It's basic stuff as well. It's just simple stuff like Bitcoin becoming more scarce, whales accumulating, creating higher lows, testing higher highs, making higher highs. I'm like, when you look at the time scale, we've rallied now. I think it's the same amount of time between when we went into that sort of bear cycle last May to sort of August. It was like 132 days or something like that.
We've had very similar.
It's been same amount of time. It's almost like clockwork, and
it's super weird. The chart like lines over itself kind of nicely, which is kind of odd. It doesn't usually do that, or at least it hasn't in history. But exciting times regardless, I would say.
Really exciting times. I was going to say, does Indiana want to try and guess what Bitcoin's going to be end of this year? We always do that, don't we? We always finish off with it. Who wants to guess what Bitcoin's going to be end of the year? Indiana's
okay.
You want me to give a price prediction for Bitcoin at the end of the year?
Yeah.
Well, that's a tough question, It's a hard question.
I want to hold you to this as well. I want to hold you to this. You've got 5 seconds. 5 seconds.
Okay, end of the year. I'm going to say. Yeah, I'm gonna say 82K.
It's good. Okay.
$142,069.
I'm gonna say $1 million. All right, guys. Great stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that wraps it up for the week. Yeah.
That wraps it up. Great stuff, guys. Hell of a week. Hell of a week in crypto.
Yes, great week.
See you guys.
See you next week, not sooner. Bye bye.